Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to the special Picks of the Month edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This is the Picks of the Month episode for August 2022, and just a quick note about the series. Obviously, it comes out once a month, but it does go out to the gold patrons first, so by the time you see this on YouTube, it could be about 24 to 48 hours later. Some of the prices might have shifted a little bit, but I'm not expecting huge changes in the short term for the cards we're talking about today. And what are we talking about today? Well, 20 Phyrexian creatures you should pick up and have in your collection prior to Dominaria United coming out. As you most likely know by now, Phyrexians are going to be a key part of Dominaria United as well as the next few standard sets. So this could be a good time to pick up some of the hard-to-find Phyrexian creatures before the tribe really heats up. Not too long ago, Wizards went back and gave Phyrexian creature types to a bunch of existing creatures, and unless you look them up, or if you happen to see one that's been reprinted recently, you might not even realize they have the type attached to them. Hopefully this video will be a good reminder of some of the ones that are out there that could be going up in value, maybe in the not too distant future. With that being said though, today's video is not a gameplay video. We're not necessarily talking about the best Phyrexian creatures to put in a deck. Instead, we're looking at the ones that have the best chance of going up in price. Remember though, unless the card's on the reserve list, it could be reprinted at any time, and we've been getting a lot of reprints lately. That's why I always say these aren't get-rich-quick videos or anything like that. Just maybe a reminder, if you had one of these cards on your pickup list and you've been putting it off, might not be the worst time to consider picking it up. Quickly before we get started though, just a fast reminder, if you go to FlipsideGaming.com, you can use the Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. Currently, you can pre-order Dominaria United products there. They do have the collector booster boxes back in stock, so if you went earlier and did not see them, they are on there now. And they have a whole lot of other things on their website too. Remember, for orders over $100 or consist only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. Also, whenever you use the Heroes promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated. So thank you. And without any further ado, let's get into it. As I said at the top of the video, Phyrexians are playing a big role in Dominaria United. On the screen, you see some of the Phyrexian creatures that are in the set. Evolved Sleeper doesn't start off as a Phyrexian, but it can become one. If you want to spend a little more time with these cards, feel free to pause the video. I do want to get into it, but I do have 5 honorable mentions before we talk about our 20, so you're actually getting 25 cards in this video. My honorable mentions are the original Praetor's Cycle. First, we have Elish Norngran Cenobite. So first, you have the original copy from New Phyrexia. It's at $23.84. The Modern Masters 2015 copy, $21.04. The Iconic Masters copies at $21. And the copy from Mystery Boosters at $20.72. But remember, Wizards did sell some convention mystery booster boxes recently in the festival in a box secret lair bundle, so more copies of these could be hitting the marketplace. Keep an eye on prices. Jin-Gitaxia's Core Augur is next. The new Phyrexia copy, $15.90. The Iconic Masters copy, $17.51. The copy from the list is at $17. This was in the list for Neon Dynasty, then it did return for Commander Legends. Here's Sheoldred Whispering One, the new Phyrexia copy, $14, the Iconic Masters copy, $13.99, and the Jumpstart copy, $12. Urbrest the Hidden, this is kind of a cheap pickup compared to the others, I'll let you know why in a minute. The first reason, though, is simply because it doesn't see as much play as the others, but let's take a look at the copies. New Phyrexia, $6.84, Iconic Masters, $5.81, the copy from the list is $2. Now, this was added to the list for a new Capenna, still there for Commander Legends, and keep in mind, the new Capenna list was smaller than usual. Even though the Magic version of Stranger Things cards were heavily weighted there, the other cards on the list also appeared much more frequently compared to other sets. That means a lot more copies of this entered circulation compared to a card that would normally be on the list. And finally, it had another printing not too long ago, and that's the last copy you see on the screen. It's from the Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate Exit from Exile Commander deck. That one's only $1.64. And our last honorable mention is Vorinclex Voice of Hunger. The new Phyrexia copies at $17.99, the Iconic Masters copy $16.97, and the one from the list is at $24.97. This was only in the list for Kjell time, so a little bit harder to find. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the true 20 cards I'm talking about today in color pie order. First is one of my personal favorites, Valrath's Shapeshifter, $6.24, very affordable. There are some reserve list cards on the list today. This is one of them. We have seen in the past that when a tribe gets hot, Even the most mediocre reserveless creatures from that tribe can heat up. This one I think is a little better than mediocre. It does get a little commander play, but I always like this card and still use it in commander decks. It can be hard to deal with in combat. Next is another reserveless card with Commander Grevin Ilvek at $4.25. Again, a pretty cheap pickup. This also gets a little commander play, and it has lost a lot of value over the last few months after it was targeted for a buyout not too long ago. Is it an amazing card? No, but anything that was once hot can become hot again. Hand of the Praetor, $6.69, another pretty cheap pickup here. In fact, is one of the tools we have seen the Phyrexians utilize, and this Infect Lord has yet to be reprinted. The ability to give poison counters outside of combat is a nice touch too, and it does see some commander play and attracts a Praetor's Voice and more. In addition to being a Phyrexian, it is also a zombie, which is another very relevant creature type. Next we have a legendary creature, Keurig, Son of Yawgmoth, $8.01, and this has been a very popular commander since it was released, also in the 99 and many builds too. Recently it has been used to upgrade the Mind Flayer's commander deck, and it also has been in fresh builds around the front-facing commander from there, Captain Nagathrod. Next is another reasonably priced pickup, Massacre Worm, $6 for that Mirrodin Besieged copy, $5.20 for the Core Set 2021 copy. This gets a good amount of commander play in various decks, including Yurok the Desecrated. It's even in a popular new deck at times, Merkle Lord of Bones. Ultimately, this is just a solid Phyrexian creature that can swing a game if played at the right time. Back to the reserve list for Phyrexian Negator, but this is one of those cards that did get some reprints even though it was on the reserve list, because way back in the day, they did allow reprinting of reserve list cards in foil. They since changed that, obviously. They don't do that anymore. But this card does have a few different copies out there. The Urza's Destiny one is $16.56. The Dual Decks Phyrexia versus the Coalition copy only comes in foil. It's at $12.36. There's also a Judge foil of this card as well. But in this video, we're not going to talk about hard to find premium cards. So no Judge foils, no Secret Layers, no From the Vault. Just the regular cards that saw a broad release. When it comes to gameplay, this did gain some popularity recently due to two newer cards that wanted this in their commander builds. The Beamtown Bullies, and John Irenicus Shattered One. A lot of cards in black in this video, not too surprising. Phyrexian Obliterator is next, and this one is pretty expensive. The new Phyrexia copy, $41.42, the Masters 25 copy, $35.81, and the copy from the list is $35.47 currently. This was part of the list from Zendikar Rising through Modern Horizons 2. So this is another Phyrexian that got hot recently because of new cards, and who's to say it won't happen again. This is a great upgrade to the Mind Flayer's commander deck, and it's also in fresh builds around Captain Nagathrod again. Skithiryx the Blight Dragon, 3 copies here to talk about. The Scars of Mirrodin copy, $16.11, the Double Masters copy, $15.97, and the copy from the list, $15.43. This was in the list from Zendikar Rising through Innistrad Midnight Hunt. That was a pretty long time. It did move some copies into the marketplace. So this is not only a Phyrexian, but it's also a Dragon Skeleton with Infect and Regeneration. This is a fairly popular commander, and it's in the 99 of other builds too, like attracts a Praetor's Voice. On top of that, you see this in Dragon commander decks, like the Ur-Dragon and Tiamat. Remember, the Dragon Tribe just got a push from Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate, and it looks like they're getting pushed even further with some cards from Dominaria United. Phyrexian Hydra, $2.30. We got a cheap pickup here. It hits the battlefield as a sizable Infect creature, and it's yet to be reprinted. Although if they do reprint this and you only spent $2, $3 for the card, you might not feel too bad about that. This gets commander play in a variety of builds, including Hepatra, Vizier of Poisons. Okay, we go from a cheap green card to a not so cheap green card. Vorinclex Monstrous Raider, $32.99. Okay, so this is rotating out of standard, but it hasn't seen a whole lot of play there recently. It is in Pioneer Mono Green Stompy though, and it is a very popular commander card as well. Many times it is a commander, but it's also in the 99 of a lot of decks there, including attracts the Praetor's Voice. It has been getting additional commander play too in a new build recently, Minsk and Boo Timeless Heroes. Of course this had to be here. Attracts the Praetor's Voice, $32.64 for that original Commander 2016 copy. That one only comes in foil. As does the next one, that is the Commander Anthology Volume 2 copy, $32.97. And finally, the Double Masters copy, which you can get in non-foil for $35.72. As you might have guessed by now, this is an extremely popular commander, and it can be found in the 99 of some builds in Commander 2, like Isika God of the Tree, for example. Urtai the Corrupted, another cheap pickup here, $3.77, yet to be reprinted. It's a wizard, but it's also a Phyrexian. This card got one of the rare specialty foils in Plane Shift. That copy's close to $700. When it comes to gameplay, this does get some as a commander, and it's in the 99 of some builds there too. It's a decent utility creature that may become better with more Phyrexian or wizard support down the road. Missouri Claw of Progress, another card you can get a pretty good deal on right now. The original copy is from Commander 2015, that's at $6.80. The copy from the list is $10.45, but that was only there for Zendikar Rising and Keldheim. And Double Masters 2022 recently reprinted this card. You can get that one for just $3. In addition to being a Phyrexian, it's also an Elf Warrior. Those are two other relevant creature types. It is a fairly popular commander and does show up in other builds there, like it tracks a Praetor's Voice as well. Glissa the Trader from Meriden Besieged, really nice price here, $3.48. Not only is this one a Phyrexian, but it's also a zombie and an elf. You can't miss with those creature types. Now this does want to be in an artifact-heavy commander deck, so that narrows its playability some. It is another good commander though, and it's in other builds too in the format. Now we get a reserveless Phyrexian Angel. This is Selenia Dark Angel, $14.96. Again, another relevant creature type on this card. This does get a little commander play, usually as a commander, and we did see this one get hot a few months ago too. It is down about $5 to $6 from its high price, but since it is on the reserve list, I could see this heating up again at some point. Savo Tabak, this is at $2.91, pretty affordable pickup. It's yet to be reprinted. It's from an old set, Invasion, and it gets a little commander play. It's always been interesting, but the high casting cost has held it back. I do feel like, though, that someday the right Phyrexian or horror support card could come out to make this worth your while in Commander. Blightsteel Colossus, as we move to the artifacts, the original Meriden Besieged copy, $72.30. The Double Masters copy, $71.10. Very well-known Magic card, and many forget or don't realize that this is Phyrexian now. It did used to get some more vintage play, but recently it has been harder to find in that format. Still a great commander card, though. It's in lots of builds like Kozilek Butcher of Truth and attracts a Praetor's Voice, for example. Future support for Phyrexians, Golems, or Infect in general could push this further. Phyrexian Devourer, this is at $14.62. Another reserveless card that was hot not too long ago. Again, maybe this is not the most amazing card, but it does get a little commander play, and it does combo with a lot of things. Feels like this is another card that is one or two new cards away from being hot again. Or perhaps just a reserveless buyout will happen again, pushing it up. Phyrexian Dreadnought from Mirage. This is another reserveless card that has a judge foil. This copy, though, $96.74. It's not cheap, but I do think this potentially could get higher over time. This card has been hot again recently. In fact, it did just spike again, so you might want to be careful. Maybe this isn't the best time to pick it up, but stay close to prices. You do see 4 copies of this in the Legacy Stiflenaught decks, but it is a solid reserveless Phyrexian that does need some tricks along with it to make it great. In the right deck, though, it can be excellent, and again, as more cards are printed, more combos with this could emerge. It currently gets a little commander play as well. Our last card today is another popular one that a lot of people don't realize is a Phyrexian. Also, those tokens it creates, guess what? They're Phyrexians as well. This is Wormcoil Engine, the Scars of Meriden copy 2343, the Commander 2014 copy 2019, the Commander Anthology Volume 2 copy $20.49, and the Double Masters copies at $21.50. In Modern, you see this in Mono Greentron, Eldrazi Tron, and more. Vintage, it's in aggro shops, and it gets a lot of commander play too, in Kozilek, the Great Distortion builds, and more. Alright, that is going to do it for our picks of the month for August 2022. Remember to join us this weekend, though, for our regular episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch, where we deep dive into everything that happens in the secondary market. Until then, though, hey, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.